Hi friends, Kansi here from atop Serenity Hill. I'm also the host of the membership called the Creative Playground. You can find out more information about that below in the description. So I'm back with tag number 9 in my Paint Chip Tag Gluebook Journal. That's a very long name, and I've been having fun with it. It started off really simply. I'm just kind of reiterate this each time in case you run into this as a new person to my channel. It's mostly collage. I am using the full deck challenge from Shinuki Arts as my inspiration, and you can find her information below. And I'm using an old paint chip deck that I have. I'm just going to use this for this year. And it's mostly collage. I have a couple rules. One is I use the color for the back, the inspiration, the color of the paint chip for the inspiration for what's on the back. 2, I always add a dragonfly. I have a whole sheet of them ready to go. A dragonfly to the front just to give the paint chip some interest. It also has a word which comes from the old reason I had this deck. You could go back to the first lesson to hear more about that. 3, I usually take one piece from here and pay it forward to the next deck, or the next card. Oh my God, I lost my words. I take something from this and pay it forward to the next card. And so that, sometimes you can see it, sometimes you don't. It just, whatever. And then I do have some kind of focal point usually on each one. Recently, because I just did collage for the first 4, I started trying to think outside the box, because sometimes you have to do the known and the easy stuff before the fun, interesting, out-of-the-box ideas start to pop up. And I started adding more dimensional and hanging off the edge things. This one even has a little fold out and a leaf that comes off, so that it would just get more fun and to see what other things I could do to the cards. Okay, so this one has a paper ruffle that hangs off the edge. I'm also loving the hanging off the edge bits because I think that it draws your eye into the deck to go and rifle through it and see what's going on. So the card that we're working on today is this pretty lilac color. The word brave, whatever that means to you today. How do you need to be brave today while you're watching this? Is what we're going to work on. So we'll pop that to the side. We'll just leave it there for inspiration. And I have, I wanted to make an interactive, hang off the edge maybe, I don't know, thing. So I found, I have my collection of, again, we're in lilac. So this has nothing to do with lilac, but it was interesting when I went through my paraphernalia paper scraps, and a lot of this paper scraps, except for this ribbon, some sorry ribbon, is from Happy Mail that has been sent to me recently. So I also find that really fun. I found the number 8, but then realized this was number 9, not number 8, but I don't know, we might use it. And then this is the piece that was left over from the pay it forward. So I have to use those. But what I was going to say is I've pulled out a bunch of things that have the lilac color as inspiration. But I also found this card, and what I'm thinking of doing, I had folded it already because I wanted to make sure it would fit, was to attach it somehow so that it becomes a fold out on the back. All right, so that's my grand plan. How I'm going to fold it, this is watercolor paper, so it's super thick compared to everything I've been using. So how it stays on should be interesting. I have some thoughts on that and how to keep it, attached, because once this is on here, it's kind of, you can see, I have to push it down a little bit, maybe crease it a little better. So as always, I'm just going to put it in fast motion and play with some music. It is the easiest for me while I'm doing this kind of project. because I have no idea what I'm about to do. So we'll see. And don't forget, the other thing is I always pay a piece forward from here to here. So this is my inspiration color for the next time. And so I tend to think ahead. So I have this piece of fabric. Okay, whoops, you can't see that. So there's a little bit of greenish, but that would work. I also have this tab, maybe, but I also love that if this is on this card here and this was here, it would tie them together. So I also love having that tie in between all the cards. So I've got that. And then I also found this green piece of paper that is absolutely delightful for the next time. So how can I use a bit of this in today's project to use this for my pay it forward collage piece? All right, so we're gonna play, see what happens, and I'll meet you back here and we will discuss. Okay, here's my lilac card, Brave. It is a lot of moving parts and it's kind of fun. So I have a paper clip that holds my little thing, and because it was visible on both sides, I have a little flag on one side and a little ribbon which ties this in, which then did not plan this, y'all, but look how the dragonfly just ties it all together. I did not plan these with my paint chips, just FYI. I just picked a bunch that were a bunch of colors. So then the paper clip holds it closed. And I almost forgot my pay it forward piece, but in the end I added it. And it's like a mini collage art journal. It's got lots of different moving parts to it and lots of different colors. Super fun. All right, let's pop this onto the piece, onto my deck. And because I always like to see what feels like it coordinates. Now, obviously the green works awesome, and I saved both the green and also the ribbon because I don't know what I'm going to do on this one, so I'm going to save both of these as the pay it forward part. And I don't have anything that sticks out of this one, but it's definitely dimensional, which is fun. And color-wise, it kind of goes because of the pink and purple. So I don't have a lot of, if I really wanted, I could like splatter some gold on this. If the connection between the two cards was important, then something like, fly specking. I say that a lot. That's a very old-fashioned term for in painting, but splattering some gold on this would tie this to this, but I don't really have gold on anything. So it works. It works how it is, but super fun. And now I've got another interactive piece in my tag book. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gave you an idea of, if you're following along with this project, something to do on your next tag. If you're just using this as inspiration in your own journal, then how can you add a fold out piece? How can you add a paper clip with maybe a little bit of zhuzh on it, a little flag, some ribbon? What interesting way can you use? I used fabric to attach my fold out to the card. What do you have in your stash that you could use to attach a fold out to an art journal page? Okay, so if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Give this a thumbs up if it was inspirational for you. If you have a question or would love to leave and you would like to leave a comment, please do so below. It always helps, and I do read all the comments and respond to them. So if you have a question, let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out as best I can. And don't forget that there's a playlist for the other 8. If you are following along with this and missed one, don't forget to go back. If you find this and this is a new project to you, then go back and start at the beginning and see if some of the ideas can be translated into your own creative practice. All right, thanks so much for playing with me today, friends. I will see you soon in another video.